Hello, 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 and welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. My name is Nelson, your totally immersed power gamer, cartographer, and all-around crazy guy. We're returning to Dungeon a Day, Episode 2, Chimera 1 Zeta, going into crafting the central hub of Chimera 1 Zeta, the command center of Chimera 1 Zeta. What you see on the screen right now is me taking my measurements of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of printer-sized paper, measuring up 4 sheets and laying them out in such a way so that I can crop the image. I can get rid of what I'm not working on to try to save on some memory, so I can make this process a little bit faster. And there it is. Next, I'm going to be experimenting with using shapes to get the circles because I haven't laid out everything perfectly as of yet. I'm doing it as I go along. And, I'm struggling with it, trying to get everything to line up perfectly, centered, mirrored, and it's just not working out. So ultimately what you see me doing here, is I make a cross. The cross represents the horizontal and vertical centers of the initial circles that creates the inner and outer hub. After laying out those things, I drop down a marker for the inner hub. That's the thing that actually connects above and below to the torus above and below it. The outer hub, which is the actual command center, and I commence to play around with some elevator ideas because we need elevators. What you see me doing right there is I know that 70 pixels is 1 square inch, so I'm trying to figure out exactly how thick the wall should be in pixels to represent a 1/4 inch in thickness, in real world thickness. If you were to try to reproduce this as terrain, it could be done. All the measurements would be, right up on point. Here I was struggling with an idea for a central service sort of access to the elevators if the elevators needed to be repaired and whatnot. And I'm just creating a little, what is that, an octagon around it, a walled octagon. And, right here, beautiful thing. I'm laying down, again, trying to figure out the centers of the area so that I can create a circle, which would be the central command center. The central command center is a circle because I thought of the arena, like the Parthenon type of stuff, being that this is going to remain a Greek theme. And this command center is going to be multi-tier. This is only the first level that I'm working on because you have to limit yourself working on a map of this size daily. I've got 2 mini campaigns to run, so this is the type of project that could definitely get away with you if you're not careful. What you see me laying out right now is the section that will be the barracks, the bunks, where they'll have their, for lack of a better word, Murphy beds. Again, this will be multi-tiered, but I'm doubting there'll be a floor. I'm envisioning, a very sort of Spartan accommodation where they walk up ladders to get to a 2nd or 3rd tier bunk, pull it from the wall, and that's how they sleep. Here, I'm using red to just mark off these sections to, portray what they are. Right now I'm designing like a cold food storage or dried food storage area, kitchen, and mess hall. I'm saying emergency food because it's connected to the rest of the base, so you can have the actual hydroponics and meat farms and whatever deliver food to that area. However, this being the central command point in a military base, I would think that if worse comes to worse, they would have to be able to separate themselves from the base. If the base were ever to get invaded, for instance, they could completely shut down and hold out in this area. They've got a barracks, they have soldiers. This is the brain, the heart, the pulse of Chimera 1 Zeta. There I added in holding cells and an interrogation center and an incineration room. with the idea that they would just burn away people after they're interrogated. I'm adding, waste processing, CO2 scrubbers, just little rooms that you would imagine necessary in such a large facility. Here I was unsure how to lay out my halls. I knew I wanted to add like a miniature hangar bay, so if push comes to shove, the command staff could leave, independent from the rest of the base. Here I'm realizing I want to change the look and the layout slightly to create a more asymmetrical appearance. I think it's a little bit more appealing to the eye. Here I'm altering the interrogation room and the CO2 scrubbers because the hangar is meant for the command staff. It's not meant for just anyone. You have to come from the command room, and it's only accessible from the command room. Here I'm taking some fighters and shuttles that I had in the Callisto Away Station Dungeon a Day map, and I'm bringing them over to the hangar bay for scale and seeing how many I could fit. Four is not a great deal, but these are shuttles that can hold multiple personnel, and like I said, it's going to be multi-tiered, so I'm envisioning 30, 40 feet in height, so that's more than enough room for these things to take off and exit. Maybe enough room for me to put maybe one more ship inside the hangar bay. That's fuel storage for, of course, these ships. And well, that's what I've gotten done so far. It took me real time about 2 hours to and change. With the pauses to reflect on my documents, listing all my room ideas. This is how it looks now without any rooms or extra details. Levels 2 and 3 of the command center will be coming, possibly tomorrow, and tomorrow's Dungeon a Day. Here is a picture with the red markings, dictating what room is where for what purpose it is, and the plan to have doors in certain areas. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you stick with me to watch my struggle making this massive base Chimera 1 Zeta. This is the command center, almost finished, and here's the picture illustrating what this massive command center is to the entirety of Chimera 1 Zeta, and despite its size and importance, how little it compares to the rest of this base. I'm Nelson. This has been Infinite Roleplay Dungeon a Day, Chimera 1 Zeta project. Until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, peace.